website here? I said, who doesn't have a website? Okay. A, you need to get one. You can get it cheap. Trust me on this. For those of you who have a website, who has something like that on their website? Thank you. Awesome. Every one of you needs that. Why is a patient going to come to you if you don't have a way to relate to them? This is mine. And I'm telling you, an intern, high school kid put that together with some pretty decent, cheap-ish lighting equipment for under $300. You could find the local intern. You need to relate to people. That has been seen by tons of people. And when people watch that, when I go speak at a conference of people who might not know me, like I just spoke at the Truth About Cancer. You know about the Truth About Cancer, guys? Yeah, I was at their live event in Dallas. I shared this live stream to hundreds of thousands of people. You need something. It's like your dance card. You need it. Because at the end of the day, you want to relate to people. So again, if you're online, if you do what I do, this is a no-brainer. You have to. But for those of you who have a really nice, thriving practice, or you're trying to build a thriving practice, you have that. The nice thing is a couple different things. You have to share your story. And this, I tripped up a couple times. It was not scripted. I just talked. And you could see the couple parts where, and I'm laying out my hand here. You could see a couple parts where I messed up. That's where they cut. That's cut. Okay, let's go. But it looks good. An editor, a kid did it for $35 an hour to edit it. It looks seamless. So anyway, that's homework number one. You got to have an About You video. But notice, I'm going to talk a little bit about this video. We're going to go back to it in a few slides. But what did I share? I shared my story. I shared my why. I shared my pain. I shared my purpose. I shared everything. I didn't go into necessarily what they're going to get, So in relation to what you all do, it's not about, hey, here's how great I am. Here's the 15 different protocols I came up with. Here's all this other stuff. Here's what I'm going to walk you through. You got to let someone relate to you first. And people watch that, and I hope from what at least I've gotten from folks in their feedback that they learn to get to know me. They get to trust me. I meet people, I've never seen them before, and they act like I live next door. Like, oh, Dr. Z, how you doing? Oh, I feel like I know you. Well, I'm very relatable. I'll do a Facebook Live. I'll go a YouTube Live. I'll just communicate with these people. But anyway, you want to have a personal story, and you want to be vulnerable. And, we don't want to give our deepest, darkest secrets, but at the end of the day, people are just like us, and they need to know that we're just like them. And I think it's very, very important. This session today is not about storytelling, and there are conferences just about storytelling. It's very skilled, but I would encourage you all, if you don't share this with all your patients, you might want to consider this being part of this whole indoctrination, this whole introduction to who are we. Welcome to my office, right? Watch this video. Watch what we do. Try to make it nice little music. Anyway, it really, really works. And so what I wanted to share a little bit today, just these little tools that come up. They're unbelievable, the tools that we have available for us right now. So something happened to me a couple years ago. It was actually a year and a half ago. And it dawned on me that I stopped working. Like I'm working right now, technically speaking. But I love this. I'm not working. You know what I mean? It dawned on me like I stopped working, where I'm truly doing what I love and I love what I do. And it's been a dream of mine for many years. Many years. I remember being a boy, wanting to be a doctor. Telling myself, I'm going to do great things when I grow up. I'm destined for greatness. But something happened. And I talk to many children. I have 4 children, so kids are always around me. And everyone has a dream, be a president, an astronaut, or something. What happens to that? We kind of go through life, and through me, a series of things just happened. Whether it was emotional abuse, whether it was physical abuse, whether it was believing a lie, a limiting belief, whatever it might have been. But so many things compounded in me where I just lost that. I literally lost that drive, lost that vision, lost that belief that I could do great things and help a lot of people. And fast forward through just years of sickness, chronic issues, gut health, skin disorders, suicide ideation, depression. I was addicted to narcotics. I was drinking a pot of coffee just to get through the day. I was an alcoholic. I was smoking a pack of cigarettes. Like I was drowning my sorrow, my purposelessness in life, with all these bad things, these unhealthy things. Health was never really a focus of mine. And then I became a Christian. It was one of those literal, like, born again, I have a clean slate kind of moments. And that was profound for me. And in that moment, literally, all those addictions, those suicide ideation, the depression kind of just shed away. But interestingly enough, the physical issues stayed. The gut disorders, the leaky gut, the skin conditions, the headaches, the back pain, the things. I went to neurosurgeons. I went to Chinese medical doctors. I went to chiropractors. No one could figure out what was wrong with me, why I was in pain, why. Again, when I say I'm sick, I wasn't at the Mayo Clinic. I didn't have cancer. I didn't have lupus. I wasn't at the Ronald McDonald House as a boy. But I wasn't well. I was just chronically ill, like a lot of people are. Tums, I was Tums deficient. I was ibuprofen deficient because I needed it every day to get through, right? That's where I was. And so at this point, to interject a little encouragement for you all didn't exist necessarily en masse when I was sick 20, 30 years ago. There was no such thing. No one was really focusing on root cause resolution. I was going and they were just dealing with symptoms everywhere I went. I had no hope, no help. So I just kind of went through life. And then when I became a Christian, you heard my story. It was this empowerment that, I can be healthy. And I just got to figure it out, really. If any one of you have ever been addicted to anything, like I tried quitting smoking, I can't tell you how many times. Like when I experienced that power of God to get free of all that stuff, it gave me hope and it gave me faith that I could get well. And so I started searching how I could get better with my body. And one by one, I basically healed myself of everything. I've never been healthier, never been happier. I'm just in like the prime of my life. I'm 37 years old, and I just continue to go. I just continue to I look at Enoch, who's 75 years old, still healthy, still strong, found the solutions, cured himself of cancer. But in that has been this development transformation to who I am and what I do for a living. Because in that transition time, I was just still, even as a Christian, even with all the great story I had of being healed and all this stuff, I didn't know what to do for a living. So I managed a bank for a couple years. I found myself squandering in finance. I did corporate work, but I was just doing my thing. But interestingly enough, something happened. And this is something we're going to go back to a few different times. But something happened that was really key, was that my why was really ingrained in my heart at that time, about helping people experience similarly what I helped, what I experienced. And that took me through those years of kind of just like aimlessly going through life. And it wasn't until I was 29 years old. It wasn't until when I was 29 years old when I met a chiropractor, and I'm going to share that story in just a minute, but it wasn't until I was 29 years old that I actually got on the path that I am on today. So what I'm sharing with you today is something a little bit more than what you're used to hearing. Because I don't hear a lot about this kind of stuff. But the reality is that work doesn't have to be a burden. Work can be a joy, and work can be life-fulfilling and a purpose. And I truly believe that's where the abundant life is.